Good morning, everyone. أهلا وسهلا فيكم in today's session in collaboration with Morgan International. Please allow us 1 or 2 additional minutes to allow all other participants and attendees to enter successfully into the session, and we'll begin. Again, good morning from QFBA. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Randa Bajram. I'm currently the Professional Certification Specialist at Qatar Finance and Business Academy. And I'm really delighted to welcome you today for this informative session in collaboration with Morgan International. It's always an honor to be part of such initiatives, which aims to enhance knowledge and raise awareness in the Qatari market, especially to highlight the importance of professional certifications. And in this way, it brings individuals, organizations all together to enhance the economy. Today, we will be covering actually a few of our big portfolio of certifications. The certifications we will be covering for today is the CFA, the Chartered Financial Analyst, the CIA, which is the Certified Internal Auditor, the CMA and the FMAA related to managerial accounting and finance, and finally the SHRM certification, which is from the Society for Human Resources Management. Before we begin, please allow me to warmly welcome my colleagues from Morgan International. We have with us Mr. Charles Boussab, the Regional Commercial Manager, and Ms. Rimi Harajli, the Operations and Commercial Manager. Together today, of course, the three of us, we will be giving you more information and answering, inshallah, all of your questions about the professional certifications that we will be highlighting today. Now, in general, we always ask why certifications matter today. Today, if you have a collaboration or the three components together of experience and education, then here is your strength point. So professional certifications isn't about what you already know. It's about mastering those standards, frameworks, and best practices that sets the industry leaders apart. Going to the next slide, here actually we are focusing more on what's the market in need and the skills that are shifting, or the landscape that is shifting in skills. So if you see this graph, you will realize at the top right, the core skills that will be needed in 2030 and the less skills that will be needed, because the skills are shifting year after year. So this in general is showing, for example, that the AI and big data is one of the skills that will be a core skill that is needed moving forward. Another skill that we might need is resilience. Another one is into leadership. So of course, many skills are going to be tackled and needed for the upcoming years, and they're shifting with time. So with these certifications, they will also help you strengthen those skills that you can keep on progressing in your market and staying at top of your game. So what this means for your career in general is that traditional skills alone won't sustain long term. Employers prioritize analytical thinking and technological literacy. Professional certifications bridge the gap between current skills and future demands, and the professionals who adapt first gain the biggest advantage. Now, for the next part, which is the professional landscape, here are some small key statistics that we did in the region, and it shows that in UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Egypt, accountants with the CMA credentials earn about 50% more in salary than non-CMA peers. As for other certifications as well, in the GCC, 90% of employers report skills shortages in finance and accounting, while 85% of professionals are considering job changes. ACCA, this is actually the statistics reference if you want to refer to it at any point of time. 91% of employers in Qatar believe that certified professionals perform better and deliver results. And relevant certifications are often required in job descriptions for HR managers, ERP supervisors, and accounting roles in Qatar. So hopefully today, we hope that we will actually give you that push to start your journey in professional certifications. Now, the employment factor, first, we have before certifications. It shows that the competing on experience alone, limited global recognition, and slower promotion trajectory. But after the certifications, you gain those industry standard validation, global career mobility, and accelerated leadership opportunities. So in summary, certification equals to competitive advantage. Career advancement impact. So in general, our typical career path without certification takes you around 5 to 7 years to gain a senior role, whereas with the certifications, the path is shorter and faster, which is a range between 2 to 4 years. So what we say in general is that you will definitely have to go through all of the steps of your promotion and your career, but it's faster when you have a professional certification in hand. Can we talk now about why should we invest in professional certifications? In a nutshell, you earn a title. It's a global title. Wherever you go, they will know that, oh, you're a CMA. Because in general, even if you get educated in the best universities, not everyone worldwide knows that university specifically. But a professional certification, the name itself speaks, and it's global. So for example, my name is Randa Bajram /PMP, for example, or /CMA. So the CMA speaks for me. One of the other reasons why you should invest in a professional certification, it's because, of course, it's very career oriented. You also gain that practical edge that is somehow not given to you during your academic years at university. So this is a plus for you. Of course, you earn more money, which we were speaking in the previous slides about the salary increase. It's short and focused. Professional certification timing actually is not too long. You can, within 8 to 12 months, earn a professional certification. Of course, it's highly in demand. And today we're going to be speaking about how highly it is demanded in Qatar. And we will be focusing on the certifications that are really needed in Qatar today. And as we spoke previously, it's globally recognized. And of course, it gives you that credibility that no other title can give you. But which is right for you? Which certification is right for you? And I know many of you today are here to see is the CMA versus CFA, which one should I go for? It's all based on many factors. And actually, I'm going to allow my colleagues from Morgan International to be explaining more and digging deep into the certifications. But I'm going to be starting with the most maybe asked for and highly in demand certification in today's market in Qatar, which is the CFA. But before that, my colleague Remy would like to give you some extra additional information on why invest in a certification, and then I'll take over the CFA. Please, Remy.
Thank you, Randa. So good morning, everyone. Good afternoon for those joining from a different time zone, as I can see in the attendee list. I'm going to skip the whole introductions part. So my name is Remy. I'm just going to take you through a quick run before Randa handles the CFA, as mentioned by my colleague. So I'm going to start with a quick secret, which is why did we establish this webinar? First of all, thank you, QFBA. Thank you, Randa, for hosting us. We're going to give our Qatari residents and local and non-local expats and non-expats residing in Qatar and outside of Qatar a quick secret. Why are we doing this webinar? We're actually preparing you to take matters into your own hand. So moving forward, you will be going into the job interview confident, and moving forward, you're not going to be searching for a job. They will be headhunting you. This is the reason that we're doing this webinar. So what are we trying to tell you? Why a certification? This is what my colleague Randa just said. This is what the whole interview or the whole webinar is about. The international certification puts you first. It's very simple. If two candidates are applying for a job, you hold an international recognized qualification. The other person doesn't, you're automatically on top of it. Of course, character plays a role, your attitude plays a role, your personality plays a role, but the professional qualification that you hold automatically puts you on top. So let's go into the details. What does it take to earn a credential? Is it hard? Of course. Does it require commitment? Of course. Is it worth it? Definitely. So for you to be able to take or to earn the credential, this is what you need to do. First of all, meet the educational and experience requirements. Then you need to pass the exams and commit to continuing education. So you're going to tell me, okay, how? The first thing that you need to do is to book a free consultation session with the program advisor and the career advisor. Who is that in this case? Randa and the QFBA team. So this is the easiest thing that you can do. At Morgan International and QFBA, we partner to empower you for career growth, for making sure that you are choosing the right and correct certification based on your education and your requirements. When you sit with your career advisor, they will advise you based on several criteria that are available, and then you will be able to sit for the exam. With the material providers that both Morgan International and QFBA have partnered with, you will be able to pass the exam. And then you'll commit to continuing education. After earning that, you will be set on top, and you will definitely be called in first for the interview. And then your personality and your character will play a role. So we're going to take you through a quick brief. For those heading towards more of an accounting and finance, CFA, CMA, CIA, and FMAA, they are not equal, no. They do have an accounting and a finance background, yes. And then we're going to go through the human resources, which is the SHRM, and both industries, all certifications play a very important role, and all of them are globally recognized and have regional relevance. So what is the high impact of professional certifications? Also, let's say high border level. CFA, the gold standard in investment management. CMA, it's a strategic business leadership, and CIA is risk management and governance expertise. Mind you, yes, they are under the accounting and the finance field. However, where you base yourself, what are your career aspirations, and what is your background? This is very important. What is your background and what do you want to do? So how do you think of it? It's not only if you fit the eligibility requirements. No, it's based on what do you like, because this is a commitment that you'll be doing. We're bringing you back to study. Yes, I'm sorry. We're bringing you back to study. We are going to force some commitments on you. Yes, also, I'm sorry. But look at the bigger picture. You're choosing something that you love to do, and you're choosing based on your market, based on the research, based on whatever is available now, based on what will the trend be. And most importantly, you're studying for a professional qualification, not an academic one. We're not expecting you to memorize the information and go ahead and write them. No, this is the beauty of a certification, and this is why it's globally recognized. It's because the employer knows that you didn't just memorize this information to this interview. You're just saying them out loud and then you're going to forget them. No. The employer knows that you studied with a professional material provider, a professional training institute similar to QFBA, and then you did an exam, you passed an exam, and this is why you earn it. And this is why you have earned your spot in this interview. And you automatically have earned a very high level, and you're a top notch when it comes to comparing yourself with the other interviews. So the time investment of the CFA is 2 to 4 years, because the CFA is 3 levels. So the career impact is premium positioning in finance. For the CMA, the time investment is 1 to 2 years, because it's of 2 parts. So the career impact is management track acceleration. And for the CIA, it's 3 parts. So the investment is 1 to 2 years, and the career impact is specialized expertise premium. Moving forward to the FMAA and the SHRM. So the FMAA is, I think it's brilliant, honestly. I think the IMA just created the FMAA for the specific reason, which is to make sure that the candidates who are opting for the CMA, for whatever reason it is, and they might be not able, be it financially, be it physically, be it now, just mentally, I'm not able to do that, you can still go for the FMA as a preparatory course. Or for those shifting a career, FMA is your answer. Or for those who are just starting the career, also FMA is the answer. Okay, the time investment is 6 to 12 months, it's almost 1 year, and the career impact is immediate skill application. And for the SHRM, which is the Society of Human Resource Management, the time investment is 1 to 1.5 years, which is a year and a half almost, and it focuses on HR leadership positioning, which I believe we have a lot of people joining in this webinar who are in love of the human resources. And for those who are not really a fan of accounting and finance, all raise hands. We are all going to focus on the SHRM, which is the Society for Human Resource Certification. So I'm going to move it back to my colleague Randa. As we said, Randa is going to go into a deep dive through the CFA charter, and we'll take it from there. Randa?
Thank you, Rini. Thank you so much. Before I start with the CFA, allow me to just highlight something that please you can all have your questions written in the Q&A box or in the chat box, and we will try to answer during or after at the end. But actually one question that came from someone and I want to tackle because I get asked this question a lot and it will actually brief or summarize a lot of future questions that might come through. A lot come and ask me, Deb, what's the best certification, the fastest certification? We want something fast, and actually that is recognized. To be honest, it's tricky to answer this question because we don't take it in that way. What we actually study is that I need, or we consult you based on your previous experience. Most importantly, your passion. What are you passionate about? Is it the finance part? Is it the accounting part? Is it the HR part? And what have you studied at university? When we have all of those questions answered, as advisors, we are able to help you and advise you on the best certification to earn. There's nothing that is just a piece of cake. It's worth the effort though. It's not rocket science, but as well, you have to know that there's a lot of dedication that should be put and a lot of commitment as well. Yes, it's for a short period of time, but as well, there's a lot of commitment that you should do. So to answer the question, there are certifications that are more lengthy than other certifications. And now throughout the presentation, you'll see each one, how much time does it take. But please try not to think that way. Like which is the fastest, which is the easiest. We want the one that is most effective because I can directly advise you like, hey, go for the FMAA. It's shorter than other certifications, but maybe you are in a managerial position and the FMAA actually is not for you. So here comes our advising, or here we consult you on what's best for you. So let's start with the CFA, the most demanded certification in today's Qatari market. And why is the CFA worth it? And why do we hear so much about it? In general, employers and top financial institutions highly value the CFA and seek them out. A little example of some of those big names that look for people that hold the chartered financial analysts are, let's say, JP Morgan, the Royal Bank of Canada, for example, the HSBC Holdings, most of the big four, which are available worldwide. Here in Qatar, we have, I think all of the banks and financial institutions are seeking people that have the CFA or are CFA holders. Allow me to also say something. Once you start studying the CFA with us, you can add it to your LinkedIn and mention that you're studying the CFA, that the CFA is in progress. You can add it to your resume that the CFA is in progress. And you can also add the approximate date that you believe you will be done with at, let's say, level 1. That will actually help you and help the employer know that you are in this journey and you already started studying. So this could also capture employers for seeking you for a future job. And of course, here later on, you will have to commit to the job and to the chartered holder so that you can be able to get your CFA level 1 and afterwards level 2 and afterwards level 3. Continuing on, why is the CFA worth it? Because constant evolution, that it actually evolves and adapts to a changing landscape. With the transformative influence of the fintech and emerging trends, CFA Institute continuously enhances the program to meet the requirements. And that actually is true because on a yearly basis, you are getting the updated version of the CFA, which includes new material and new content. Sometimes the content or the change is not major, but it's always evolving. Significant compensation for investment professionals. According to the CFA Institute compensation study, the average base salaries of CFA charter holders experienced a higher year-over-year growth rate compared to general market. Now, the career path and job opportunities, this is also a question I get asked a lot, and I believe Rini and Charles also get this question asked a lot, is like, okay, I got the CFA. What's next? How can I thrive in my career? What's the next job promotion I can take? Or where can I apply to which jobs? Here's the answer. Professions aligned with the CFA charter holders are portfolio manager, researcher, consultant, risk analyst and risk manager, data scientist, credit analyst, chief investment officer, trader, financial planner or advisor, corporate financial analyst, and the list goes on. Thriving investment management sectors for CFA charter holders are asset management, private wealth management, commercial banking, investment banking, insurance, consulting, asset ownership, fintech, brokerage, etc. And I know that today we have a big number of attendees coming from the banking sector. So these are some of the job opportunities that you can be seeking within the banking or financial sector. Step towards becoming a CFA and maintaining the charter. Now, in general, all certifications have one big rule, is to actually complete the 3 E's. When we say the 3 E's, this is the exam, the education, and the experience. So in general, for the CFA, to obtain it, you have to first pass the CFA exams, which is the 3 levels to obtain the charter title, if we can say. Then achieve the qualified work experience, submit the reference letters, apply to become a charter holder, and then maintain your status. Now, some might find it tricky on what does it mean to maintain? Like any doctor, like any engineer, you should always be updated, and the syndicates make sure that you're always up to date. So one of the things that those global entities have developed is something called continued professional education, which is once you earn your title, you have to maintain it through development credits, maybe by attending webinars, seminars, workshops, conferences, you name it. It's just for you to maintain your title and to make sure that you are still credible enough to be earned the title of a CFA. Now, it might seem overwhelming. It's not. It's just some steps you have to follow to get the title at the end. Now, the education and experience requirements needed for the CFA is actually just also to highlight on something, is that you have to differentiate between the eligibility for sitting for the exam and the eligibility to become a charter holder. So to sit for the exam, you have to have a bachelor degree or equivalent. In general, I believe most of the bankers here in Qatar and most of the candidates hold a bachelor's degree. Or you can be in your 2nd year of university, and I would come back to this later, just give me a second. You can also have 4 years of professional work experience or a combination of both. Now, to go back to the second point, which is be in your 2nd year, I also get a lot of enthusiastic students that are really happy to start and they can't wait to start with the CFA. But from personal experience with hundreds, if not thousands of candidates, I would like to say that we highly prefer that students be either in their last or final year semester in their 3rd year or 4th year, because this helps them focus more on the CFA. Some people in their final year of university, they take less credits. That's when we say, yes, it's doable, because we really want to be realistic that the CFA requires some commitment and some time. And we don't want you actually to have lower university scores just because you're studying for the CFA. No, take your time, finish at least your 3 years of university and start considering the CFA in your 4th year forward, because actually this will also help you in studying. You would have taken all of the courses that will help you really understand the material of the CFA, because all certifications do not start from scratch. They start from a certain level, and you should have that certain foundation of understanding to actually get a hold and a good grip of the material that is going to be given to you in all other certifications. Now, moving to the exam topics and weights in general, just as a brief, if you can see on the screen, you have 3 levels, and each level topic areas and weights differ from level to another. And actually in level 3, you will see some topics that are not going to be available. But let's focus on level 1, because this is where we're going to be starting. Level 1 components and actually has ethics, quantitative methods. We have the FSA, economics, corporate issuers, alternative investments, derivatives, portfolio management. These are some topics that are in level 1, and each differs in weight. Now you will be learning more about weights and what does that exactly mean during your studies. And here the instructors and facilitators, our experts, will be helping you as well with that matter. Again, as for some practical skill modules of the CFA in 2025, 10 to 20 hours to complete, at least one per module or level, and accessible anytime post-registration. So in general, these are some of the levels and the tick list of each. If we can move on for the next slide, please, Charles. Now, what's really interesting is once you earn the CFA, in general, you earn a digital badge. So what's nice about it is that you get an instant verification and credibility, enhanced online presence, modernization professional portfolio, expanding professional reach, and demonstrating commitment to standards. That's because as well, you will be part of a big entity and global organization, and you will be part of their members. So you have that connection. You will be seen more, you will be more credible. Believe me, the level of credibility you will get once you earn the CFA or any other certification is just on another level. Exams that evolve in complexity. Again, here we're speaking more about the exams between level 1, 2, and 3. But in general, level 1, you have to first meet the CFA program enrollment requirements. The question format is actually multiple choice questions, and the exam results are available within 5 to 7 weeks. And the average passing rate is 41%. Please don't panic because of the percentages of the passing rate. It is actually true, because what is required for you to become a charter holder is they want someone that's credible, that earned the title. So not anyone can become a CFA. It's the people that are committed and disciplined and determined and that are really working hard that become holders of this charter. Level 2 and level 3 have different exam formats, and the results actually technically are the same timing, but I'm more focusing now on level 1. To move forward on the material that we are giving you. So we have again collaborated with Morgan International on providing you with the best material possible. And here we're providing Kaplan Schwezer. You can search actually on what's the best material to study for the CFA, and you will get the answer. So just to give you what are the tools that you might be getting within the material you will be having. But in general, what we provide you is, of course, the experts that are facilitating. So we have expert faculty. All of our instructors are CFAs. They finished the 3 levels and earned the title, and they are experts in the field, and they are working professionals. Again, adaptive learning experience, proven methods from the most trusted CFA study program worldwide with a student-centric, scientific-based approach. And the study program provides 300 hours of preparation and learning experience that adapts to your schedule. Then we have exam matching material, comprehensive study materials that match the CFA program, and the history of successful candidates. Of course, more than 30 years, more candidates have shown and proven how easily they were able to succeed with the material and the support provided to them. Now, one of the testimonials we have is from a beautiful young lady named Dream Tawil, and she shows how the CFA experience was to her. And she says that my overall experience was great. It wasn't an easy choice, of course, but with the guidance and support, she was able to achieve the goal. And she was provided with smooth lectures by experienced professionals, planned study programs, and all tools needed to ace the exam. And because Dream was committed, because she did a lot of effort, she was able to pass the CFA level 1. Now, moving to one of the certifications that as well is on the rise in Qatar, and I get asked a lot about the CIA. I would allow my colleagues from Morgan International to be giving you a glimpse on the certification, and we promise that we will be answering more of your questions throughout and by the end of the session. So to Morgan, please, Remy.
Thank you, Randa. I'm back. So this is more like of a healthy competition. We're gonna see who does better. So Randa did the CFA. I'm moving towards the CIA and the SHRM, and then Charles will handle the CMA and the FMAA. So noting that I just confessed in front of everyone that I hate accounting and finance. However, I will be moving towards the CIA, which is the internal audit. So what is the certified internal audit? Let's move, Charles, into the top 5 reasons to become a CIA. Now, let's be really honest and frank, and whatever is the right terminology for that. All certifications give you career satisfaction, career development, career security, prestige and respect, and financial return and benefit. We're not gonna start saying this is better than this and this certification is better than that. Why? Circulating back to what I said in front, we are not pushing certifications onto you. No, we're pushing them based on your career track because we don't want you to register for the CIA and not commit or not do the exam or even fail the exam or any of those certifications. We are advising you. This is why we are program advisors, because we are giving you something, we are giving you a service, providing you a service that will ultimately reach somewhere. You will be needed somewhere. This is why I was telling you, I want you to be the top notch and you have to handle your own resume and you have to be able to allow other companies to headhunt you instead of spending hours and hours over the internet trying to search for a certain job. This is not something bad. I'm not saying it's something bad, but at the end of the day, if there is something that you can do to reach there, this is what you need to do. So, prepare for your career success. Develop and examine processes and procedures. Confirm the accuracy of information. Understand the risk and internal controls. Improve your organization's effectiveness. This is why you're needed in this company. This is why a lot of companies, international companies, are actually training their employees and they're sponsoring them for the CIA, because the CIA has a very high return on investment for the company itself. Why is that? It's because the moment that you have a CIA, you understand your numbers, you understand the information, and you will work on to reducing those threats, those risks, even the extra spending of money here and there. With no valid reason, for example, you will be able to do that. So the return on investment is not only for the candidate studying for the CIA, it's for the company itself. So where are the sectors that you can apply your skills in? Any private or publicly traded companies, any accountancy firms, and any public sector. Everywhere. You can apply everywhere. Every single company needs an internal audit. And a lot of companies outsource their audits. And when they outsource, they incur additional costs. So this is why they want you. They want you as a certified person because they don't want someone to just do the reports for them. No, they are obliged to have someone who is certified for them to be able to complete their tasks. So it's not only about preparing the documents. No, it's also about even legally spreading those documents apart. So this is why they need you as a certified candidate, and this is why they need to either sponsor you or even recruit you. Moving forward, what are the education and experience requirements for those opting to sit for the CIA exam? You need to hold a bachelor's degree or an associate's or equivalent. You can have also a master's degree, and the difference is that is translated more into the experience part. So if you have an associate's degree or the IAP exam, you have 60 months worth of experience to prove. If you have a bachelor's degree, you will need 24 months of experience to prove. And if you have a master's degree, you will need only 1 year of internal audit experience or equivalent if you hold a master's degree. For the exam, you need to pass all 3 parts of the exam. And this is different from the CFA because you can pass either part in the order that you believe is fit or suitable. This is because the levels, they are not levels. So the information in them can be taken apart and in the order that you believe is possible. So the part 1 focuses on internal audit fundamentals. Part 2 focuses on internal audit engagement. And part 3 is more about the function. It's a multiple choice question. The exam format for the CIA is all multiple choice questions for all 3 parts, and it's 2.5 hours or 2.5 hours for the first part and 2 hours for the other 2 parts, part 2 and part 3. It's a computer-based exam. It's on demand, so it's available year-round in peer review testing centers or online. You're available to divide your time. Most importantly, you need to commit. So, the topics and the weights. In part 1, we're going to be focusing on foundations of internal audit, ethics, governance, risk management and control, and fraud risks. Notice the percentage. Notice how they are divided among not only internal audit. CIA gives you the general picture around it and then goes into the details of the numbers and then goes into the details of assessment of those numbers. So you're going to be a walking complete package. This is what a CIA certification gives you. For the part 2, it's more of engagement planning, information gathering, and engagement supervision and communication. And then we move our focus to part 3, which is internal audit operations, internal audit plan, quality of internal audit function, and engagement results and monitoring. Moving forward to the material provider. Remember when we were telling you you will be a walking package? That is true. And because we believe in a full walking package, we as Morgan International in collaboration with QFBA, we are providing you with the full package. What do you mean by a full package? So we're giving you expert instructors. We're giving you perfect packages. We're giving you awesome learning management system and platforms for you to be able to practice. We're giving you all the support and the guidance that are available as program advisors, because we'll hear when you register, throughout the journey, and once you finish too. We're giving you everything. You have everything that you need to pass this exam. We want one thing from you: commitment. So, Morgan International and QFBA have partnered with PRC, Powers Resources Corporation, to provide you with the best material, the coaching system. It's 18-month access. You have a question bank of more than 3,000 multiple choice questions, of course, that are relevant 100% to the exam. You have a textbook and the ebook. You have a mock exam. You have e-flashcards and a free update in case you need to resit for the exam, in case you fail this exam. And the most important thing is that this package is available in English and in Arabic. So if you decide to sit for the CIA exam in Arabic, this is also available within the features. You only need to advise QFBA and Randan specific about this, and she will definitely be assisting you. Moving forward to the comparative analysis, and this is where, by the way, my colleague Charles will be handling this part. I hope you enjoy it. Charles?
Thank you, Remy, thank you, Randa, thank you everyone who's attending here. We're hoping you're actually getting the information that you need. You're going to be leaving us today a little bit richer in terms of identifying what certification might be better for you moving forward. So I'm going to give you a quick brief or comparison about the CMA and the FMAA certifications. So if we look at them from a general perspective, they have a lot of similarities. But before I get into the details of each, I just want to point to everyone's attention something we always discuss with all our candidates in Qatar and everywhere else as well, is that the CMA and the FMAA, while their names mention the word accounting, so it's a certified management accountant or a financial and managerial accounting associate, these certifications themselves are not for only accountants or not dedicated to accountants and the accounting function. It's about management decisions. It's about business planning. It's about forecasting, budgeting. So it's understanding financial statements and how the accounting function works in order to actually make business and management decisions better. So if we look at the general overview around both, the CMA and the FMAA are for somewhat different targets. So the CMA, as we're going to go see later, has very stringent requirements. It is quite extensive in two parts compared to the FMAA itself, while the FMAA is slightly simpler and maybe shorter, as my colleague Randa was mentioning earlier. But definitely it will depend on what you're looking to get, what you're looking to learn, what your current credentials are, and where you're aspiring to be, as the best way for us to be able to advise you which certification would be best for you. So yes, CMA and FMAA have a lot of similarities, but let's dive into each one of them a little bit into more details. So the CMA is a much older certification. It has global recognition for sure. Like as my colleague Remy was saying, the reason why you would get a certification is to actually be put first in terms of recruitment, promotion, etc. So the CMA is one of those certifications that brings you that value. It teaches you technical competencies in accounting, but it's not for you to become an accountant. It's for you to become a manager who can actually forecast, budget, plan, and make these business decisions informed well based on financial statements. So it does have a rigorous syllabus, and it's about time and financial cost benefit. So somebody asked if the CMA could be completed in 1 year. It definitely can be completed in 1 year. We also have candidates who actually completed it in 6 to 8 months. So it depends on how much time you are able to dedicate to the certification to be able to really actually complete it. So what do you do as a CMA on the job? You can prepare and analyze financial data and statements, plan for the long term. So when accounting issues their cash flow statement, their balance sheet, their income statement for the company, you would be a part of the people who would be actually looking at those statements, understanding the subliminal details within them, the details of every expenditure, cost, potential revenue or budget, so that you can actually make a decision. One of the examples I personally love that was given to us by an instructor on a managerial accounting course is that if you have a company who's manufacturing 3 lines of products, one of them has a high cost, average selling quantity, makes an average profit, another one lower cost, higher selling count, major average benefit or profit margin. Another one has a very low cost, excessively high selling return. If you were to stop one of those manufacturing line, which one would you stop? Most managers who do not have management accounting experience would look at the bottom line, which one is making me more profit, I'll stop that. But people who understand management accounting would look into more details. They would understand the time cost of every production, the labor cost of every production, the potential revenue versus the time for the different production lines. And that's how they can come up with a proper decision to actually discontinue one of the lines, because just keeping the one with the most profit margin might be the bad decision. It might be correct, it might be the bad decision. But when you understand all the details, you will know how the company can make more profit by possibly stopping the one that is currently making the most profit margin. That's one of the very important aspects of the CMA or the FMAA that can be applied in any job function, whether it's supervisory, management, or even higher. So for the CMA in particular, you require some education and experience. First things first, you don't need any of them to just sit for the exam. So you can apply for the CMA and take the exam. But after passing the exams and you want to earn your credential, you need to actually provide one of these, provide all these requirements. So you need to have a bachelor's degree or hold a professional certification from an approved list by the IMA itself. And you need to actually have 2 years of experience in what they call management accounting role. So a management accounting role is a role that includes working with budgets, costs, forecasts, sales reports, revenue reports, etc. So if you're a sales manager, if you're a warehouse manager, you might be eligible in terms of the experience, but definitely the final say on the eligibility is by the society, the IMA itself. We can advise, but the final say is with the society. So once you actually have those educational requirements and experience, and you'll have passed both part exams, you will be eligible to hold the CMA. So the CMA exams are in two parts, as we mentioned earlier. Part one is financial planning, performance, and analytics. Again, we look at the percentages of weights that we saw on the CFA and the CIA. The part one usually is recommended to dedicate 170 total hours of study to actually be fully ready to pass it. And part two, which is strategic financial management, requires an average of 130 hours of study. But let me go back a slide. The topics you learn in the CMA Part 1 and the CMA Part 2, if you notice these, and you will be receiving this presentation afterwards, so you can examine those more carefully. They are all management functions and not accounting functions. So you have to understand these functions that you can draw from financial reports to actually make management decisions. And part two especially is mainly about actually making those decisions in the different aspects of any business. So to help you prepare for the CMA, QFBA and Morgan International are IMA Platinum CMA course providers, which means that we can actually atop all the preparation on the review course that we can help you with. We can also provide you a particular discount on the additional fees that you pay for the society in terms of your registration, your exam, etc. And we've also partnered with Becker for the exam preparation material. Becker has graduated over 1 million candidates. They are sought after by the top 100 accounting firms in the world, and Becker itself is a strategic partner of the IMA. And when I say IMA, it's the Institute of Management Accounting. They are the people who actually design and put up the CMA exam blueprint. And also, one of QFBA's CMA students enrolling in QFBA CMA Part 1 program was one of the best career decisions I've made. The course offered a strong foundation in financial planning, performance, and analytics with top quality instruction that fully prepared me to pass the exam. So this is what QFBA and Morgan, along with our material partners, we offer you. It's the best chance for you to actually pass that exam. Once we've defined the certification that would be best for you, we will provide you with top-notch preparation tools and resources for you to have the best chance of actually passing that exam and earning that credential. So we've dug a little bit into the CMA. The FMAA itself, as I personally like to call it, the CMA's little brother, because they have a lot of similarities in the content, as I mentioned. So, but the FMAA is more of a foundational knowledge, and it does not have the requirements that are necessary for the CMA. So as we mentioned, the CMA is two parts. Usually it takes somewhere around a year or more to actually pass it, depending on the time you can allocate. And you have to pass both exams, and every review course is maybe a couple of months, and then you have to dedicate a few months to study, which is achievable. But the FMAA is a much shorter course. It has a lot of foundational knowledge, and when you look at the topics covered in the FMAA, all of them are also topics covered in the CMA. But if you don't want to go all the way with the CMA, if you don't hold a bachelor's degree, if you don't have any experience in management accounting role, then the FMAA would be more convenient to you to really get you started. And as my colleague Remy mentioned earlier, if you are launching in your career, or if you are looking to actually make a transition in your career, you don't have the credential for a full-on CMA, the FMAA would be a definite solution for you. So for the FMAA preparation material, we've also partnered with PRC to provide you that package that Remy was mentioning. So again, you will become that walking, talking package. And to help you achieve that, we provide you with a very useful, easy to use, user-friendly study material or review material. So you get an ebook, you get a question bank to practice in preparation for your exam, you get a complete mock exam to actually go through a sample exam to see how ready you are. You get that access for 18 months, though out of experience, hardly anybody took more than 6 to 8 months to finish an FMAA. So the course duration is shorter. The allocated study time is definitely also short, maybe about 2 months, and you should be fully capable of actually passing your FMAA exam. So in short, the CMA and the FMAA are dedicated for people aspiring for higher roles, to become seniors, to become managers, to become executive officers even. So you want to start somewhere, and you want to definitely demonstrate learning and acquiring those skills and knowing how to apply them. Again, I'll repeat what my colleague Remy mentioned earlier, that recruiters or professionals or organizations who are recruiting, they are actually looking for people who either have a certain level of experience or a certification. Why would they want either? Because both, whether it's an extensive experience or an actual certification, it tells that employer that not only you learned what you need, because you definitely need the academic foundations that you learn in university or college, but you've also learned all the skills required for the job market, and you definitely know how to use them. And that's the purpose of the certification exam, to put your knowledge to the test in terms of actually using that information and understand how it works. So when you have a certification, it tells that employer, even if you do not have an extensive experience, they know what you know. Okay? So I'll give the platform back to my colleague Remy, who will be walking you through the SHRM certification moving forward. Thank you, Remy.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles. So we're done with the accounting and finance. HR people, let's focus more on the upcoming slides. This is, I think, where our baby is. Sorry, Charles. So we're moving into the SHRM, Society for Human Resource Management. What is the value of a SHRM certification? In general, we can have it. It demonstrates to employers an HR professional has current and relevant skills and competencies, provides a universal standard, delivers an opportunity to learn practical skills and competencies, and validates proficiency as a business leader by testing knowledge and how you use that knowledge. Okay. Standing out from the crowd. Again, all certifications help you stand out from the crowd. But why are we focusing on the SHRM in specific? First of all, demonstrate your HR expertise. So, HR professionals who earn SHRM certification report significantly higher levels of credibility with peers and organizational leaders. It increases your salary. Definitely, HR professionals who pass the SHRM certification exam report earning salaries 14 to 15% higher than peers who did not, and you get 70%, 71%, that's very accurate, of HR executives agree that SHRM certification increases the likelihood of obtaining a promotion in HR and listed as a preferred qualification. This is, again, the statistics are specifics, yes, the numbers are specific, yes, but the general details around it are general. All certifications will give you the career security and prestige and will definitely put you on top for promotions, for salary increase, and definitely for security. Let's deep dive more into the SHRM. So, the SHRM is the first ever behavioral competency-based certification for HR professionals. It has over 100,000 certified and growing candidates that have sat for the SHRM exam and they have passed, relevant to real-world work situations, employer-focused, and the only HR certification backed by SHRM. We have two batches for the SHRM. We have the SHRM CP and the SHRM SCP. The SCP is the senior certified professional. But there is one very important thing that the SHRM did with the learning system and the learning management that will help you decide which one you should be moving forward with, and we're going to explain it in the next slides. So, what HR professionals need to know? We have the technical competency and we have the behavioral competency. What are we seeing right now? What we're just spotting on the screen in front of us is the SHRM BASC, previously known as the SHRM BOK, for those who are not aware of it. The most important part of a collaboration between any two entities is what is the ROI on this collaboration. What Morgan and QFBA have partnered with are always making sure that we are partnering with societies who are always in development mode. What do we mean by that? We do not want to partner with a society that is not always up to date, always updating the information, always updating the curriculum, always replicating real lifetime examples. This is because it is all about the credibility. Earning a SHRM certification from the SHRM body gives you credibility because of the utmost and almost never-ending change that is happening. Circulating back to the SHRM BOK and the SHRM BASK. Previously, it was the SHRM BOK. What is the SHRM BOK? It is the committee that have provided the information regarding the curriculum of the exam. What are we going to tackle? Who are we going to tackle? What is the information that we need to put in the exam? Because we need to make sure that this candidate not only passes the SHRM examination, they actually use it in their real lifetime world, which puts them on top. So it's a cycle. They have moved into the SHRM BASK because, first of all, the BOK was more of a knowledge-based exam, and the SHRM BASK is more of a practical-based exam. So now your exam consists of two, the behavioral knowledge and the practicality of it. Your exam is not 100% multiple choice questions based on if you memorize the information or not. No. It involves you thinking about the case scenario. It involves you answering questions. The ultimate result might be in multiple choice, yes, but you need to think of the situation because you will be put in such situation being a leader in HR. The technical competency is a knowledge specific to a profession to perform a role. We have the clusters. We have the people, the workplace, and the organization. So it's how will you act with your peers, how would you act with other clients, and how would you act within the organization, which is more of a departmental. And then if we go to the behavioral part, it's leadership, interpersonal, and business. So no, SHRM does not teach you about being in HR, doing payrolls, doing compensation. No, this is not what SHRM is about. SHRM is an introductory course. SHRM gives you a total information about everything. Talent acquisition, leadership, risk management, US employment laws and regulation, noting that you will not be tested on this given that you're sitting outside of the USA. Ethical practice, communication, relationship management, it involves everything and everything that you need to know and be well aware of when it comes to the SHRM exam. Moving forward, so this is what you need to know. Which one is for you? Let's put something straight. You do not need a degree to apply for the SHRM exam, be it the CP or the SCP. You do not need any type of previous work experience to apply for the CP, but you need to have 3 years of experience when you apply for the SCP. Why is that? Because the CP is more on an operational level, the SCP is more on the strategic part. So, if you do the payroll and you implement the processes that are there, you're more of a CP. If you are the person who did the processes or created the processes and give them to the team to execute, you're more of an SCP. You're going to tell me, okay, I'm interested in the HR. I'm interested to be there. I don't know which one should I apply for. Do not worry. The moment you sit with Randa and she explains all the details to you, you're going to be 90% cleared out. There is still 10% that you're going to say, I still am hesitant. I need to worry. That's not a problem. You don't need to tell us which exam are you going to do when you apply for the class. Why is that? SHRM has developed the material and the curriculum, and Morgan International and QFBA have made sure to implement the scenarios in a way that will be able to give you the information required while you're sitting in the class. So you will enter the class, you will have your SHRM access, and you'll be able to listen to the class. The flow of the information will be going straightforward. You wouldn't have a problem. The trick is in your online access, your SHRM online access, you have a pre-assessment module, which is perfect for all. Why is that? You will be able to test for a pre-assessment SHRM CP and then test for a pre-assessment SHRM SCP. So the module itself inside your online access will tell you where are you in the information. So our recommendation for you, register for the SHRM CP class, start attending, get your online access, start reading the material with the instructor, and then at least a month or 3 weeks down the road, do one pre-assessment for the SHRM CP and one pre-assessment for the SHRM SCP. You will know where you stand and you will know what is the way moving forward. When you choose, be it a CP or an SCP, you will automatically choose also the learning path of the exam that you chose to sit for. In your online access, it will automatically change the questions and you will have access to the exact exam that you need to within your online access free of charge. So you don't have to handle this burden alone. You don't have to handle this risk alone. Do I do the CP, but I have a little bit of experience in the SCP, and then do I do SCP? What if I fail? No, you don't have to do it. You sit with your program advisor. She gives you all the bullet points that are available and the 10% doubt that you have. You will clear it with your own online access that is developed by SHRM, replicating the exact exam that is developed also by SHRM. So the distribution of the items by content and the item type, be it for CP or for SCP, it is 50% situational and foundational knowledge and 50% HR specific knowledge. What do you mean by that? Circulating back to the SHRM basque. So we have the foundational knowledge and we have the practicality part of it. So in the first 50%, there is a 10% foundational knowledge and you have a situational judgment. What do you mean by that? Even if the required question is a format of a multiple choice, but it is a situation where you will be required to assess, to understand based on whatever you have learned and then apply accordingly. And then you will work more on the people, organization, and workplace when it comes to HR specific knowledge, which constitutes 50% of your exam. Moving forward, we're going to discuss the exam duration and format. As we said, it's a 4-hour exam, be it the CP or the SCP. It's a computer-based exam, and the number of questions is 134 multiple choice questions, 80 are knowledge items, and 54 are situational judgment items. It's the same type of an exam, but of course the questions will be different if you decided to opt for the CP or for the SCP. And again, I want to note the exam is 134 multiple choice questions, correct? But it differs in the type of the questions and the situational judgment and knowledge in them. Moving forward, it's a comprehensive HR content. Remember, I was telling you, so it's not about doing the payroll and signing on the leaves and the bonuses. That's not actually what the HR is about. The SHRM by itself brings the SHRM body of applied skills and knowledge, the basque, to life. What do you mean by give it to life? It means that you are replicating what is actually happening inside the doors of these buildings, what is happening inside the HR departments of these buildings. The curriculum is based on real examples and real lifetime examples whenever you decide to sit for the SHRM. It's not only outdated, no. It replicates real seasons when it comes to cultures, when it comes to the actual department that you are working in. It offers ability for students to review content in order or via a recommended path. You will have your own option. Provides real-world examples, follows exam configuration, timing, and test questions, personalized and flexible learning, and includes practice exam with questions used in the past certification exams. So also we have a testimonial from one of QFBA students. So they sincerely thank QFBA for the excellent SHRM training. The instructor's expertise made the material clear and engaging, greatly benefiting the team's professional growth. So we're circulating back into the package. It's the learning system, it's the instructor, it's the classes, the live classes that are available in QFBA premises. It's the support that you get from QFBA team, pre and post registration. And finally, the only thing that we want from you is commitment, and the testimonial, of course, would be great for future presentations.
Thank you so much, Remy
Thank you,
and
everyone.
Charles.
Circulating back to you, Randa.
Thank you so much. I really thank Remy and Charles on the details given on the certifications. And I know for a fact that we have tackled a lot of the constant questions we get over and over again. And actually, we never get bored of the questions because we are here to help you. This is our position to help you, to guide you to the proper certification that best suits your experience, your educational background, and your passion. What's really beneficial and what we do as QFBA is that we truly let you know if we are capable to assist you or not, because I have a lot of candidates that come in that are really ready to start something, but we still don't see that they have a clear, let's say, career path. We try to help them on getting them on the right path to start with. And then we let them come back to us to discuss more about the options they have to earn a certification, because we know for a fact that if anyone wants to enroll, they have to have that passion and push to start. And if they don't have a direct or clear vision of what do they want next, we are here to help them, but we do not force them to do any certification. Even if we see that they require a certain certification that we do not give or provide at QFBA, we also are clear with them and tell them the same. And we tell them which certifications, global certifications out there they can earn to really get a clear career path. I think Charles has something to say.
Thank you, Randa. No, I just wanted to point out that we may have a few questions
Yes,
that
we
we
do.
have not
Yes, we
yet
do.
answered.
Yes.
So I was just gonna wait for you to finish to actually start tackling those.
For sure. Actually, I have one of the questions in which I would like to start asking to Remy. I know the answer though, but I would like to hear it from you, and everybody would like to hear it from you, starting with the SHRM certification. Especially in the Qatari market, the SHRM certification actually is compared with other global and amazing certifications out there that are not American based though. So can you give us just a brief difference on the SHRM versus other HR certifications?
Of course, that's a very good question, and we get asked this question a lot when it comes to the SHRM certification versus other certifications. So let's set things clear in the beginning of this conversation. All certifications have peers and have similar certifications, and they all work the same way. They have societies, they have material providers, they have training preparatory institute. So it's not really the matter of is this better than that? No. What matters the most is you finding, again, the package. So if you find a training preparatory institute that provides support, if you find a society that is always updating the information and replicating the exam, if you find good passing rate scores, do not forget, the material provider and the society are trying to replicate the actual exam. So if you're replicating an actual exam, you will need a material provider that is worth it and that is more giving more and putting more into the market. So you assess the package and you're still lost. You have two different perfect packages for you. The price is good, the material provider is good, and everything else is good. How do I choose? This is how you choose. Extensive research. Do not go for sales. I'm telling you. Sales advisors, everyone is going to tell you this is good and this is good. In QFBA and Morgan International, we do not tell you this other certification or this other society is not up to date, but we do point out the good thing in the SHRM, for example, since we're following on the SHRM. You need to focus where is this society originating from. So for example, the SHRM is a US based. So when you say US based, it covers the territories of the US. This is not only for the SHRM, for example. Let's say CPA versus ACCA. ACCA is more of a UK based, CPA is more of a US based. Is one better than the other? No. Does one cover more information and relevant to the actual job market that we are in? Yes, because the CPA covers a bit of the ACCA and the gap information that is required in the Middle East and the GCC region. So before you start, after you finish all your research and you're still down to two, what you need to do is to do your online research based on your career aspirations. Where are you located in? Where do you work? Is it a local company? Is it an international company? Which rules do this company follow? Where do I want to be? Is my career aspiration to stay in a local company available in Qatar, for example, or in Lebanon, or in Dubai, or in any other country it is? Then I will decide based on that as long as the package that we just discussed suits me. When it comes to the SHRM, for example, a SHRM is a US-based certification. It has more than 100,000 certified people. It replicates the actual exam and it is modernized to give you the actual information of what is happening in the real lifetime. And it's shorter than any other certifications because other certifications are more focused on, let's say, assignments, assessments.
Yes.
Yes. So the SHRM has one exam. Are you going to ask me if it's easier? I cannot tell you if it's easier or not. I can tell you that there is a one exam after you finish all the modules, which some may perceive as easier and others may say, maybe assignment is a bit easier for me. I can finish one and do the assignment related to it. Yes, that is true. It's mainly based on a perspective of what you believe. But do not follow the trend and the crowd. Do your own research. Check what is
Yes.
the information that is available and listen to the program advisor. Check what the packages that are available, and mainly focus on certifications that are mostly coming from the US. This is my personal advice to you, because certifications that are coming from the US are all certifications are globally recognized, yes, but these certifications are adapting faster to change. So when it
True.
comes to learning management systems, they are adapting, they are embedding the AI. You can do your own research. Check which certifications and material providers embedded AI more, because they wanted to be more in the trend, more in the actual work of what is happening, and more helping the students. You'll find that the US-based certifications are ones that are actually adapting quickly to change, thus helping you more to reach to the final conclusion of which certification is it. SHRM or any other certification, CPA or ACCA, even for the CMA or the FMAA, the only difference is that the CMA, FMAA come from the same society. So it's more of a cross-selling rather than upselling.
Thank you,
If I may,
Remy.
if I may interject
Please.
here, because I also had a question that might be relevant to a big part of what Remy just said at the end there. It was addressed to me personally in the chat. What would be better for me, to study a certification or go for a postgraduate degree? Yeah, but when we say
Wow, nice
postgraduate
question.
degree, that's a master's degree or a
Yes.
PhD or whatever graduation level you have. And to add on what Remy just mentioned earlier, that certification programs are quickly adapted to the current demand in the job market. That's
Yes.
not to say if a certification or that's not to say that a certification is better or not than a postgraduate degree. They both have their relevance. I mean, most certifications, as also Remy mentioned earlier at the beginning, rely on your foundational academic knowledge. So academic knowledge is just as important. It's just about the path that you want to go through, the time you have, the investment level you can invest. So again, when we're asked to compare a certification to a postgraduate degree, either way might be a good option for you, but here are some of the ins and outs of either. A postgraduate degree is usually a minimum of 1.5 to 2 years, depending on the university, and possibly higher. It requires what you say, a thesis to be submitted, a lot of research maybe to be done, etc., to be able to pass it, a number of courses to be attended throughout the university, all that jazz. So if you have the time and the investment power to actually go for it, go ahead. A certification program, depending on the certification, might be 6 to 8 months, 1 year, 1.5 year, depending on the certification you're going for and the time you also can allocate to it. You register for that course, you take the certification exam, and you earn the certification. Either way might make you more will make you more employable, but it depends. If you want to actually launch with a certification to compensate for a lack of experience, that's a path, would be the certifications. If you want to take the time to get more into academics and grab a postgraduate degree, do grab a postgraduate degree. But again, as my colleague Remy mentioned earlier in announcing the certification, and also Randa, employers nowadays look more at certifications than postgraduate degree, because, and here's where I want to add to what Remy was last saying, certification program sometimes get updated twice every year, depending on what is emerging and what statistics they are actually finding, while academic curriculums and syllabus might take somewhere around 2 years before they can be updated due to the approval processes that have to go through the accreditations, etc. So a certification content is 100% guaranteed to be relevant to today's job market needs, when an academic content might be slightly outdated until it is updated.
Allow me to add, Charles and Remy, to the question. If we want to compare a postgraduate or a master's degree to a certification, I always tell any candidate coming in that look, you can always do both, but start with the faster path and the one that you can earn immediately from it. So do the certification as a start, put it in your pocket and do your master's degree. Take your time with it, because we know for a fact that master's degrees or PhDs give you some more time and slightly are more flexible in terms of timing. So you can do it at your own pace to some extent. Whereas a certification, it is faster than a master's degree or any other academic degree. So earn that, get the job, get your promotion, get a higher salary, and move forwards towards your other academic degree. Another thing I would like to highlight, it's because it is really important when we're working on the comparison when it comes to the dollar sign or the Qatari riyal sign. Master's degree costs anything between 50,000 up to 150,000 Qatari riyals in Qatar. That's if you don't want to seek another like an international or go abroad study. So if you compare it to a professional certification, it's fraction of the price. A professional certification, including the exam, might go up to approximately 20,000 Qatari riyal. So even less, but I'm just giving you the worst case scenario. So if you want to compare it in terms of money also as well, it's more affordable. And plus the global recognition you get from a certification is faster and wider than that you get from a master's degree. Noting that by default, we all want to earn, and it's good to have our master's degree. But because you can do it at any point of time and at any age of your life, let's start by earning a certification first.
Very well put, Randa. Thank you.
Thank you. Going back to the questions, Charles, the question is for you. Someone is asking that after doing an associate degree, which is actually 2 years, can we do the CMA?
Well, actually, they can do the CMA, they can sit for the CMA exam, but eventually when they want to actually earn the credential,
Yes,
they will have to have a bachelor's degree.
true.
All right.
Pointing on that, at QFBA, we do not stop anyone from attending any class. You all are most welcome to attend, despite the eligibility criteria. But we have to highlight that if you attend and you are missing some of the criteria, you can't either do the exam or you can't either earn the title, the certification title. So we always highlight that to you, but at the end, if you are willing to sit for the class and you have that will, you're most welcome to do that, especially that a lot of people like to attend the classes just for their own knowledge. We have a small percentage of people that come to attend without the aim and intention to sit for the exam. It's really up to you, and you're most welcome to do that as well.
I would second that, Randa. I personally have registered a lot of candidates for not only the CMA, other types of
Yeah, true.
certifications, and they didn't go for it to earn a title or a certification. They just needed the learnings to be applicable on their functions on daily basis.
Yes,
But I would
100%.
add to the candidate who was asking regarding the associate degree that that was yani, your credentials are the reason why the FMAA was created. It's for
Yes,
the people
yes.
who want to learn management accounting, who want to be certified in management accounting, but are just short of being eligible for the full-on CMA. The FMAA was designed for you. So it's almost an equivalent of the CMA Part 1, maybe a little less depth in terms of the content, but most of the topics covered in the CMA Part 1 are the content of the FMAA itself. So if you're not fully eligible for a CMA, FMAA is the solution for you. And I want to add another question that's relevant to this that I also received privately in the chat. Do I need a bachelor's degree specifically in accounting to be sitting for the CMA or the CIA? So if you want to take that forward, Randa, but what I'm going to say from my side
Please. Yeah.
is that no, it doesn't have to be in accounting. your bachelor's degree. I mean,
True.
if you have a bachelor's degree in accounting, you might be at a somewhat an advantage in terms of understanding the content. But the CMA in particular has the content, the study material that you will be provided for the CMA include an introductory chapter to the general fundamentals of accounting. So if you don't hold an accounting degree, you will be able to learn some of the fundamentals that will help you understand the class. And definitely the instructor-led lectures and the expert instructors tutoring you on the class will make the entire content very understandable for you.
True. Allow me to also be more realistic. We always say it's better to have a business-related degree, but again, that's not a rule because we know for a fact many people that may have studied arts are passionate about accounting and finance, and they're good at it. They understand it. So it's really up to you to enroll, but you have to know that, again, there's some sort of basics that won't be 100% covered, so that you will have to work on before. We have another question. Do we have any discounts? I'll be answering that in private, dear. Yes, CBQ and most banks in Qatar might have a certain advantage of offers and discounts. Please, this is my email on the screen. Feel free to drop me an email and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. We still have 2 minutes to answer questions. Charles, again, coming back to you. Is the FMAA a good startup for people that want to do the CFA and need like a refresher on some of the topics?
Well, I would say if they have no prior knowledge in business accounting or management account, you're saying the FMAA, right?
Yes, FMAA, sorry.
Okay, I would say that, yeah, if they don't have any prior finance or business accounting knowledge, it might be a pathway. For sure, it will help. Definitely finance majors and finance students, or even if they're not finance majors, but if they minored in finance, they don't really need to go for the FMAA unless they want to start with that to just have their first credential while they go forward for the full-on CFA charter.
Amazing. Thank you. Remy, as for the CIA, we know that some recent updates have been executed on the English part. But as for the Arabic part, when should we expect any updates on the material since we as QFBA will be running the CIA Arabic in 2026?
Okay, so fortunately for candidates who are opting to take the CIA exam in Arabic, the changes will be implemented all the way in September 2026. So fortunately for those candidates, if you still have an access or you still want to study on the material that is not yet updated, you have all the way till September 2026. You can easily finish all 3 parts of the CIA exam. However, if you're opting to take it in English, this is the effective date was actually in May 2025, and QFBA is currently running the courses on the updated material of the CIA.
Yes, great. Thank you.
Welcome.
I don't know if Remy and Charles, you would like to highlight something before we close and check if any other questions are coming in. I'm going to start with Remy. Is there any advice that you would like to give going back to your experience with Morgan and with a lot of students coming in from all the region? Is there anything you would like to share with the candidates attending today?
Definitely. I'll just have one quick advice for you guys. Start early. I know you need commitment, but level up the commitment with the same commitment you give for your job. You work for 8 hours and you give it the commitment. It's not the same, but also level up a commitment towards family, be it extended, be it intended family. I know this is it's seen more of an auto commitment, it's family style. Yes, I understand, but it translates to commitment at the end of the day. There are some stuff in life that we do because we're obliged to do. So why don't we perceive the professional qualification as a commitment towards us? This is something that you are building for yourself. This is something that will guarantee a lot of future open opportunities for you, and you will be deciding if I want to take this opportunity or not. So take control of it. You have the possibility to take control over your career aspects in your life. Start early. Do not postpone. We all have a lot of things to do. We all have a lot of stuff to do. We all have commitments. Find time. You will need commitment for a specific period of time, and then you will sit for the exam and like my colleague Randa said, trust me, it is worth it. So
It's
reach
worth it.
out to Randa, discuss everything, even your worries and your concerns, by the way, Randa can tackle, because she will know how to advise you. Again, we are career advisors. We're not only trying to sell you something, we're trying to give you something that will benefit you at the end of the
On the
day.
long run. Yes, yes, exactly. Thank you so
So
much,
that's it. Thank you,
Remy.
everyone.
Charles, anything you would like to add?
Actually, you guys said it perfectly. So I don't know how much more I can add, especially with you guys on the call. But I would say one thing. Yes, I would second Remy and your statement, Randa, that it is a commitment. It is based on our advisory role. It is based on the candidate's aspirations. So don't just focus on one certification and consider that I will either do that or nothing else. Something different might be more convenient, more adaptable, more beneficial for your personal growth and career growth. I mean, personal development and career growth. And if I may just answer a quick question at the end, about the CIA in particular. I wanted to add that in for the question about the accounting degree. So it doesn't need an accounting degree to be actually going for the CIA. And one of the additional questions that occurred is if you need experience in auditing for the CIA program. I would say yes, an experience in internal auditing is necessary, not financial auditing. So
At least 1 year. At least 1 year. The other year could be
exactly.
in finance, external auditing, but at least 1 year to have it in intern.
Yes, but I just wanted to highlight the point that the auditing in internal auditing is not just financial auditing, as Remy, I think, covered the CIA. It's about internal processes, internal
Yes.
procedures, risk management, risk
Quality
mitigation.
control, quality
Exactly. So
assurance,
it's
exactly.
about auditing all these functions, not just the finances. Okay, just be careful about that.
Thank you so much. Allow me for 30 seconds to thank everyone attending today. Charles, Remy, we couldn't thank you enough for joining us from Beirut specifically and for giving us from your busy time. And
You're welcome.
thank you. It's always a pleasure. And just to wrap it up, I want to tell everyone seeking and thinking of starting this journey and this path, it's really worth it. It might be very hard to be realistic at first, but eventually the return is very big, and especially in Qatar. Start today. We are ready to support you to answer all of your questions for these certifications and all other certifications. We will be sending you out the presentation and recording of the session. And in hopefully November, I'll be personally sharing with all of you our upcoming 2026 sessions for all certifications for the advantage of enrolling early and benefiting from the discounts that you will get if you enroll today. And again, thank you very much and wishing you a good afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good luck. Bye.